Hello and welcome back to the Nobody Asked Our Opinion podcast, a podcast where two complete idiots just give our opinions, not your opinions. You just listen.
What?
And even though you didn't ask for it, we're just going to tell you what we think because that's this podcast.
That's what we do.
Smooth intro.
It's super smooth. I love it. We're going to keep that.
I'm JJ.
And I'm Joanna. And one of us is more of an idiot than the other today.
One of us is more stupid. But yay!
Yay! We're here. We did it.
We survived the weekend.
Oh, barely. There's so much happened.
So much.
There's so many news. I'm trying to decide where we should start first.
Such news.
So many things. Let's talk about the Disney Snow White controversy, because that's fun.
Yeah, because is it Disneyland?
I think it's the land. I feel like it's the land. Although the land only just opened, but I don't remember if this one's at Disney World or not. Don't at me. It's fine. One of the two has these. I think it's Disneyland because they revamped it. Because I know I've been on it at Disneyland. Was Snow White Scary Adventure, and then they changed it from Snow White Scary Adventure to like a story time ride, like the Ariel ride,
sort of,
Ariel's Grotto ride or whatever. And so it ends with the prince kissing Snow White to wake her up from her coma, and so there's been some backlash because that's not really a consensual kiss, and it's also kind of problematic because she's been allegedly dead for a while.
Right, yeah, that's, I think, the big...
is that what you want to end your ride on?
Yeah, I think a lot of people have been kind of calling attention to the problematic nature of the true love's kiss in Snow White, and there have been a lot of people who are like, yeah, it was, there's no way that she could give consent if she's clearly like not conscious, and I think one argument was like he's essentially a complete stranger.
Yeah, they met briefly once at the beginning of the movie while she was in her like rags and like getting water from the wishing well, and she's singing a song, I'm wishing.
Yeah.
And then the prince is over there and he sees her and they smile at each other, and then I think that's it. And that is probably the least amount of interaction between a Disney prince and a Disney princess before they kiss.
Mm-hmm. And then, yeah.
And one of them couldn't kiss back.
Right.
However, I think that it would have been to revamp this to still keep like the quote unquote true love's kiss, because would have been like if he kissed her like on the forehead.
I mean, yeah.
Because that's
a little bit more innocent than like straight up on the lips.
It's straight up on the lips.
Yeah.
And I think that
or like a cheek or like a nose if you want to be like cutesy.
And I think the nose is a little creepy.
Is it?
I think the forehead, does like, it implies a little bit more of like a sweetness and an innocence and a kindness, whereas like a kiss on the nose is a little bit more like, I know you and I'm being adorable, because it's a little bit closer to the mouth, and there's like, I don't know. That's just how my brain's working right now. It's just my opinion.
I didn't ask for it, damn it.
Well, too bad. I'm going to shove it down your throat anyway.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
And it'll only be slightly less problematic than the Snow White ending. Because one could also argue that there was like the true love's kiss that breaks the spell in Sleeping Beauty, but they'd like known each other as children, and they were like betrothed to each other, which is archaic and gross, but it was one of those things that they had known each other. They had that cute little dance in the woods together. Like, they kind of knew more what's up.
I'm only nodding because I've never seen this movie.
But
that's kind of canon. I've not seen very many of the early classic Disney stuff. The fact that I know that even Snow White and her prince had very little interaction, I was like, that's astonishing.
It's because you probably read an article sometime that...
No, I watched it. I've seen Snow White.
You've seen Snow White? Okay.
I've actually seen it, yes.
Congratulations.
I know.
I was not sure if that was accurate or not. It's like, I don't know. Because you have not seen a lot of Disney movies, and we're slowly working on rectifying that.
Yeah.
But, But yeah,
like possibly putting it placing the kiss like on a cheek or on the forehead or somewhere a little bit more innocuous.
And as far as like, because I don't think they need to completely revamp this movie or whatever. I mean, this movie came out in 1939, I think.
It's very, very, very old.
It's Disney's first full length feature film. They all said Walt Disney was crazy for making a full length cartoon. And it won, it was nominated for an Oscar. It didn't win, but it won, an honorary Oscar. And it was an Oscar with 7 little mini Oscars.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's in, the Disney Family Museum in San Francisco. It's super cute. Oh. Because it was something that was never done, and they were like, we can't give this a real Oscar because we don't know what this is. But we can, so they gave him, a special Oscar, and it had, 7 mini Oscars for the 7
That's adorable.
Dwarves. Yeah, no, it's adorbs. But, I don't think that it's one of those things, because I don't think it's as problematic as, a Dumbo, or as problematic as,
was it Songs of the South?
God! Oh, we watched that one.
We did watch that one.
We found that one on the YouTubes, and that was that made me uncomfortable at the end. But it's not as problematic as one of those where because there's a few, or the Aristocats that has a card in the front that says these things are this is just a time of a way of the times. We're not going to change it because we want to preserve history, but this is. It's understand that this is this, and maybe parents, you want to have a conversation with your kids. I don't think it's necessarily one of those. Maybe you want to throw that card at the beginning, but I don't think you need to take it off of the kids only streaming, like they did with Dumbo and the. Oh, but you're talking about the movies. But for a ride, they can't just be No, but for the ride, I saw. I think it was a suggestion in the comments, and I was like, that made sense. Is that they could have had that. Had them there and had the prince there, but not showing him kiss her. And then the end of the movie is really they have the ethereal looking castle, and then she's on the horse with him, and they're going to go off into I don't know, the heaven castle, because it doesn't look like a real castle. And that would have been a really pretty ethereal ending to have on it, instead of a problematic kiss that we're all talking about now. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you maybe show him going in for the kiss, but not actually
or just have him standing there over her coffin, because she's in that glass coffin, and just have him there instead of even showing him bending down for the kiss. Have him standing there, and just know that all the dwarves are there and they're sad, because
they don't show every single part of the movie, throughout the whole ride, because that's just too much to put in a ride.
Yeah, so I mean, they didn't have to show. It would be
feasible that you can cut off this little bit,
and it's something that they can easily adjust on this ride right now, is just not have that animatronic bend over. I've never actually seen how that kiss is implemented or executed. From what I've seen for videos I've seen, is that she's laying there, and then he's
so he's standing up and then bends down to kiss her.
I don't think he's standing fully. I think he's already half bent, and then
because I want to say that usually the classic images of him kneeling at the thing and then moving in for the kiss, right?
Maybe, probably. I don't know. It does a close up in the film, from what I remember. But I mean, even if he is kneeling, I just know that it shows him physically bending over to kiss her, and however it is, he can be not bent over.
Yeah,
and that would easily fix that problem. And then just have the other animatronics move, the dwarves and stuff that are surrounding or whatever. I think the dwarves are in that scene too. I don't remember. As far as on the ride, I know in the movie they are. But I don't know. They could fix it, and it wouldn't be that big of a deal. It wouldn't even cost that much money.
Not at all. It's a very, very minor thing.
And it would be fine. But moving on, let's talk about other news.
Will Smith and Mark Wahlberg have dad bods, and I'm for it.
That would be your note for the week. I love that the first the few things that you've put on these newses are Will Smith and Mark Wahlberg have dad bods, and they're hot, and then also Kelly Clarkson can sing anything.
Yes, absolutely.
And I'm here for both of those things. So yes, Will Smith and Mark Wahlberg have dad bods, and
because it's also kind of the narrative of all of our bodies have kind of changed through the process of the pandemic. Either, you know, you gained a couple pounds, or you did the whole, like, I'm going to take this time to work out. We all are dealing with new bodies in some way, shape, or form. I think it's nice that they're, you know, acknowledging that, like, hey, I packed on a couple pounds over the course of quarantine. It's cool.
It's fine.
It's fine. I don't have to be this, like, super jacked, even though that's kind of Mark Wahlberg's shtick.
Yeah.
And he is technically doing it for a role. But, like, you know, seeing these, you know, uber ripped guy who, you know, traditionally uber ripped guys, like, say, and post pictures of them, like, not at their most peak physical, you know, stature. And it's like, yeah, because that happens.
No, absolutely. And I think that it's important to see, because we don't see it enough, I think, in the male form as much as we see it in the female form, because, you know, we are slowly moving towards that way of embracing, you know, full-figured women and being like, yeah, you know, this is fine to be the way that you are. And I think that we haven't quite had that embrace in the male form yet, as far as, like, hey, it's fine that I've gained a little bit of weight. And I think that that's important too in the male.
Yeah, I think you're right that there's not that, like, alternative body, quote unquote alternative body, like alternative facts.
I love that you did the quote. You did quotations at me and remembered that it was a podcast. You're like, quotation marks.
Yes. So you can't see me do this.
We haven't gotten that fancy yet.
But yeah, just like, I don't know if it's to the full to the same extent, but men are constantly being inundated with, like, this is what you have to have, you know, the reverse triangle body, you know, broad shoulders, tiny waist, you know, ripped, you know, 6-pack abs, and, like, the big pecs, and, like, giant, you know, tree trunk legs, and, you know, get all the thick triple C-ness.
Yes. All of the C's.
And, you know, it's nice to see, like, two men who have historically been very, very fit and are known for their, like, physical, you know, nature, and show them, like, hey, I'm kind of chunky right now. And
they still look hot.
And they're still, and even Anthony Anderson, like, posted a picture of him, like, shirtless in his dad bod. I'm like, yeah, this is all good.
This is all still very attractive.
And then Marlon Wayans tried to chime in, but he's still kind of a little ripped, and I'm like, I guess that's kind of dad bod, I suppose, but, like, you clearly still work out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also, I think it's also, trying to change the narrative of what a dad bod is, though, because what is a dad bod? Are you a dad? Do you have a body? Congratulations, you have a dad bod. And whatever that shape happens to be. I mean, that's, like, my favorite. It's like, oh, is your beach bod ready? And I was like, well, I'm on the beach
and I have a body.
So, yes.
This is my beach body.
Yep, it's ready to go.
Well, I would also contend that there are also non-dad bods, in the sense that, like, you don't have to be a dad to have a dad bod.
I mean, absolutely. You have a bod, and that bod is beautiful whatever way it looks.
And thank you, Will Smith and Mark Wahlberg, for attempting to normalize this, because I think that is important.
Absolutely.
And yes, Kelly Clarkson can sing anything, and she can do no wrong.
Your particular reference is, okay, so Kelly Clarkson on The Kelly Clarkson Show does karaoke every episode. Yes. And it is everything I live for and more.
Absolutely.
And so she did a cover of Smokey Robinson's You Really Got a Hold on Me. I saw your note, I listened to it, and I went, yep, nope, that checks out. That was beautiful.
It's fucking phenomenal. Like, why? I feel like that Kelly Clarkson just needs to, like, be permanently just singing things. I know it's not good for your voice to do that, but, like, I just want her to sing, like, all the things.
She's kind of already is. I mean, I feel like, because, I mean, she does karaoke on The Kelly Clarkson Show, and then she sings on The Voice, because she's a coach there. And wasn't she, like, before everything shut down, didn't she have a Vegas residency, or she was about to have a Vegas residency?
I have no idea.
I feel like she was going to have either she had one or was about to have one. And I want that to be back again. Can we go to Vegas?
I just want to see all the things.
I want to go to Vegas and see Kelly Clarkson sing for hours, and then go see Drag Race girls do a Drag Race show.
Just complete idiocy on stage.
Yes. I want all of it. I want it all. But I love Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, yeah.
She's my favorite. If Kelly Clarkson ever wants to be a guest on our podcast, she's more than welcome. I don't know why I went suddenly Minnesotan with that in
our podcast. If anything, you should have gone Southern because Kelly Clarkson's...
I know. She's from Texas.
Yeah. She's a Texas girl.
I love her. I want to be her friend. I
feel like we probably could if we like somehow blow up and like are somehow are on Kelly Clarkson's radar. I feel like that she would like have shots with us.
I want this to happen. All right. Our podcast listeners, this is your mission.
All 12 of you.
All 12 of you. And our one listener in Mexico City, welcome. Please continue listen to us. Tell your friends. But please, make this blow up so Kelly Clarkson will have shots with us.
Yay.
That is my mission in life.
And maybe she'll sing Tennessee Whiskey. Oh my God. I would just die.
I want it.
I would just
die.
Die.
It sounds so good, and she would sound so pretty on it. It'd be so perfect.
It would be absolutely perfect.
Although, remember when she sang with Garth Brooks, and they sang Shallow? That was everything I didn't know I needed in my life. But
didn't I show you that?
You did.
Yeah, and I was like, Garth is holding his own. Like, good for him.
I was gonna say, but like the fact that you didn't realize that Garth Brooks could hold his own is astounding to me, because Garth Brooks is like the biggest country star of like all time.
I literally know nothing of Garth Brooks other than the fact that he had a weird like Chris Gaines like moment where he was like emo Garth Brooks.
Yeah, but I mean, but he won like, I think he's won like more Grammys than like any other male country artist.
Like, I have no doubt that he is acclaimed and very much, you know. It has never been on my radar.
Oh yeah, no, he is phenomenal. But him and Kelly Clarkson singing together, it was like, ugh. Because I love that they, like, him and Trisha Yearwood sang it together because, you know, they're married and cute and adorable. But he, like, changed the key so Kelly Clarkson can sing it in, like, a higher key. And it was so pretty. And, I want Kelly Clarkson to be our friend.
Kelly, can you be our friend? Please?
Please.
We worship the ground you walk on.
I mean, legit. But, all right, let's talk about other things, because we can sit here talking about Kelly Clarkson for hours, because we have.
Should we do a Kelly Clarkson 20?
Oh, God. If there ever comes a moment where we don't have any Drag Race on television,
we'll just talk about Kelly Clarkson.
We'll talk about Kelly Clarkson for 20 minutes, and it'll be great. I am here for this. Speaking of Drag Race, Chad Michaels is going to be on the new season of American Horror Story, and I wasn't aware of this. Apparently you were, and I'm so excited because, in case nobody knew, Chad Michaels is my favorite drag queen of all time. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Chad Michaels does not get enough appreciation for being the mother dust of drag and the best Cher on the planet. And she's been doing Moira Rose impersonations. And
it's spot on.
And it's phenomenal. Her really Moira good. Rose is amazing.
It's really good.
And I want Chad Michaels to be super successful and gain some of this, like, Trixie Mattel, Bob the Drag Queen, Alaska, like, fame that I feel like she deserves to be having, and recognition. And so I will watch American Horror Story with Chad Michaels on it because I want to support Chad Michaels. And I haven't seen a complete season of American Horror Story since the first season. So this will be a journey for me.
Fun fact, Chad Michaels is not the only Rue girl who's been on American Horror Story.
I do know that Trixie was on, like, a episode.
She was on the Roanoke season. I think that's season 6.
She was on, like, a episode, because I remember them talking about it on,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she did, like, a panel, because the season that she was on, or the episode that she was on, it was like a show within a show kind of thing. Uh-huh. And she had like the show that was in the show, that cast had like a Comic-Con style panel that was hosted by Trixie.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, hey!
I know that bitch.
Oh, hey, that bitch is right there. And it wasn't much after her like stint on Drag Race. I want to say it was like a couple years or so.
After All Stars?
Her when she was on season 7.
Oh.
It's relatively early Trixie.
That's impressive because
I want to say.
Because, like...
It's been a while since that season has aired.
Fair. I was going to say, because early Trixie was, like, she got popular out of nowhere, but we were... but she was also not super fame yet. They were, like, just starting to make cool things happen.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, this was... I want to say it's pretty relatively early. I want to say relatively early, and early, like, Trixie fresh off of Drag Race.
But so definitely before she had that hard contour.
Yes, it's very harsh. Very, very, very harsh.
Okay, and then rounding out our news, guys, we've inspired change again. We are changing the world with this podcast.
One episode at a time, we are making the world better.
Seth Rogen has said that he will no longer work with James Franco due to sexual harassment allegations. Although I am trying to decide if I 100% believe that. Although they have not worked.
They haven't worked since
2018.
Yeah, since for quite some time, and he still hasn't technically addressed the allegations levied at him.
No, he's really just kind of saying this was all James Franco, and due to that, I'm a better person. Yeah, so it's a little shady that he's like just kind of throwing his friend for apparently. I mean, years. They are buddies. They've been buddies since like Freaks and Geeks. Yeah,
for a long time ago. Oh my god, like these guys are like basically ride or die. And
apparently they're not riding and dying anymore.
Apparently he is ridden and he has died. It's a little shady that he's kind of like throwing his best friend under the bus. I mean, in the actual quote is that like he hasn't really like he doesn't know what to define the relationship right now as. Like they're not really friends, but like he still like obviously still holds a lot of love for him because they are such good friends and have been for so long.
We're not really friends, but we're such good friends that I really care about you.
To throw you under the bus like this.
It's so stupid. But I mean, I guess good for Seth Rogen for at least taking that first step. But like, be better, do better. Stop treating women like shit.
Yeah, he's definitely
where women are being treated like shit.
Yeah, he definitely has not addressed. Not that I can tell that he has definitely not addressed allegations of fostering a hostile work environment for women. But at least he's acknowledged that like my best friend's problematic and there's some. I'm trying to distance myself even in this small gesture.
Yeah. So I mean. Good on him for starting. Now do better. And James Franco, good riddance. Sashay away.
And you may sashay away.
So yeah, we're inspiring change, but let's do some Drag Race 20 because holy shit.
Holy shit, guys. Oh my god. So much has happened in the past week and a half.
Yes. So, Drag Race 20 is a bit where we spend exactly 20 minutes talking about Drag Race because if we're left to our own devices, this would just be a Drag Race podcast, but not with any actual flow or formula or anything. It would just be us rambling for
It would be
hours.
A stream of consciousness podcast of no structure, point, other than just to squeal. Constantly at the messiness that is Drag Race.
Okay, so I got the timer set. When the timer goes ding, we will stop, and that's all you get. So, 3, 2, 1, go. Are we going to start with the drama, or are we going to start with the show?
Let's start with the show, because we have to at least get that out of the way.
Okay, so, Drag Race Down Under has Snatch Game this week.
Which is a gag, because Snatch Game never happens this early.
Never, unless, this is All-Stars, bullshit. All-Stars, second, All-Stars 2, Snatch Game was, the second episode.
It was never in a mainstream, the main season have we had a Drag Race, or Snatch Game this early.
And so, there was some problematic characters.
I contend it was still fucking hilarious.
It was still very funny, but it was still also a little
It's very dark. It is very dark.
So, it was great is because I was listening to The Chop, and Courtney Act was on there, and she was talking
about...
Fellow
Aussie queen,
Aussie,
oi, oi, oi.
Oi, oi, oi. And she was saying that she was hoping before, like, this is before the season even started airing. She said, I hope that we don't focus too much on the dingo ate my baby, because it was a thing that Australia, as like a country, continent, whatever, however you want to classify, is very ashamed of still, because it was, oh my god, this bitch is really like gonna lie to us and say that a dingo ate her baby, and then the DNA proved the dingo actually ate her baby, and everybody collectively was like, well, we're all assholes. And then on Snatch Game, Electroshock decided to be the woman.
No, it was etc. etc.
It was etc. etc. Electroshock was...
She was Moira Rose.
Moira Rose, that's right. Etc. etc.
No, she was Catherine O'Hara.
Catherine O'Hara, because she couldn't be Moira Rose.
Because she can't be Moira Rose because of copyright.
You can't be characters. But she was Moira Rose. Okay, so etc. etc. comes out, and she's like, I'm going to do this. And Rue was like, great. And all of the other queens were like, that's dark.
That's real. That's a choice.
That was a choice. But it was it was funny. It was dark, and there was a few times I went,
oh my god, yeah.
That just happened.
She pulled out a dingo puppet, y'all. And it was all bloodied, and she had a whole extended like bit where she was being attacked by a dingo.
Even Rue at that point was like, huh.
No, Rue was fucking living.
No, not for that part. No, the part where she was living was when she held up the card that had bite marks on it and said, I had an answer, but a dingo ate my answer.
Yes, that was perfect.
that was perfection. I think it started to get, I think it went a little, her dingo eating, like attacking her, I think went too long to be into where it started to cross into bad taste. The dingo ate my answer. Chef's kiss, perfect.
Oh, it was fantastic.
And then also, so what was best about this was that when Rue at the end, after giving like critiques and everything, they have all the girls and they say, all right, when your name is called, please step forward. Anita Wiglet, she steps forward. You're clearly the winner of this episode. And like nobody else moved. It was just, you clearly won this Snatch Game because your Queen Elizabeth II was perfection.
Oh, it was very, very good.
It was
fantastic.
To me, it was like Ben de la Creme level Snatch Game performance. It was so
good. It was Ben
good.
de la Creme as Maggie Smith is equal to Anita Wiglet as Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, because, like, Ben de la Creme, I think, is one of the best Snatch Game performers of all time, because she's the only one who's won twice. I mean, because she also, her Poland.
Poland was perfection, and it's a smart move to get to, you know, to do a celebrity that, like, is from Rue's wheelhouse, because anything that bitch will do, Rue's going to be laughing hysterically.
Oh, yeah. Hashtag Nina West was robbed.
I mean, yes. I did not think that her Snatch Game was that poor, but...
But anyways, we're going to move forth. So, Anita Wiglet won, and... Okay, and then the gag of the century, they sent Art Simone home.
Yeah, they, like, clearly one of the front runners of this season sent that bitch packing. I mean, she was clearly in the bottom for sure. Her was it Bindi Irwin? Blah, 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 blah.
It was garbage.
It was bad.
It was garbage, mama.
It was really bad.
The only thing that was good about that was that she looked just like.
She looked really good.
She looked like Bindi Irwin, but that was where it ended.
Yeah. It was just like, there was, where are the jokes?
I think she had one joke at the very top of the thing. I don't even remember what it was. I think at the very start she had a joke, and then it went.
Oh, yeah.
And I went, oh, no. It was bad. And then Coco Jumbo's Lizzo was also...
It just never went anywhere.
No, it never took off. And again, she looked great, but that was it. Mm-hmm. And so when they hit this lip sync, and also I love that it was I'm That Bitch.
Yeah.
I was sitting there because I just heard the beat and I was like, are we really? I'm That Bitch. I love that song. Although I like the Queen's remix better than just Rue's version. Because yeah, no. Because I was just kept waiting for good.
Yo, for sure.
Or like, oh god, because Widow Von Du's bit is the best in that whole song. Oh, so good. But so they're lip syncing, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, are they are they going to do a double Shantae? Because there's no way they're getting rid of Art Simone this early, but this is not an Art Simone song. This is a Coco Jumbo song.
And Coco Jumbo did, like,
and she turned the party.
She turned it.
She turned that party. It was so good. And, like, it was just, like, it was weird. And then I felt so bad. Like, my heart broke. Because, like, Art Simone, like, collapses into Karen from Finance and just starts, like sobbing.
Yeah.
It was
like Rock'em Sakura back in, like, season 11. Yeah. Where she, like, walks off the stage and you can, like, hear her wails of despair. Just, like, her sobbing, like, as she's walking backstage.
Well, especially because I didn't think that Rock'em Sakura should have gone home that episode anyway.
No! I actually kind of enjoyed that messy-ass dress. But it was... I thought it was...
Everything else leading into that was fine. But they, like, just decided that you're like, nope, you're not going anywhere. And, like...
Yeah, kind of like with art. Like, they're like, oh, you fucked up Snatch Game? You're going home. Bye.
I was just like, I was shooketh because I thought for sure they were gonna be like, well, Coco Jumbo was in the bottom three last week. She was like, she didn't lip sync, but she was in the bottom. Mm-hmm. She was very low, and then she was like bomb Snatch Game. And I was just like, I was sad because I love Coco Jumbo. I think she is beautiful, and I was really excited to see what she
she's got, like, she's just, like, the personality. She's just a ray of sunshine. Like, I contend that she is the top for Miss Congeniality.
Oh, yeah. No, and so it was just, I was shooketh to my core.
Oh, everybody was. The girls were all, like, gagged.
They're like,
visibly
what?
gagged. They're like, what? Art just went... This was like when Joe Black...
Yeah, when Joe Black went home in UK2.
In UK2. Everybody was like, what the fuck just happened?
This is a living legend.
Yeah, like, how dare you? This is sacrilege.
I mean, and so, like, my thought process, so I did not want, going into this, I was like, Art Simone, if Art Simone wins, I call, Rigor Morris.
Who Morris? Who's Morris?
Rigor Morris, baby. Rigor Morris. Because Art Simone already has a show on WoW. Mm-hmm. And so she's already technically on the payroll. So I've been like, she shouldn't really win. But, like, then she turned the party the first episode. I was like, okay, maybe I won't be mad if she wins. Because she's, like, fucking turning it. And then they fucking sent her home the next episode. I was like, well, I don't want her to go home so soon. I thought she was going to make, like, top 3 and not win. Mm-hmm. And then, I don't know.
Do you think it might be, like, an overcorrection? Like, they sense that people would be like, oh, if...
Yeah, it might have been. They might have just, well, I mean... I was going to say maybe they just set her up to fail, but no. She fucked up that.
She fucked up
the Snatch Game.
That Snatch Game was all on her.
That was all on her. So it's like, it's not like it was like, she didn't even deserve to be in the bottom. No. She did deserve to be in the bottom, but... Like, I'm wondering if it was, like, a production where they're like, well, clearly Art Simone's going to be on the bottom, so, hey, ladies, this is going to be your lip-sync song.
Because they, in the past, have changed the lip-sync song the day of.
Yeah, Jinx Monsoon and had said that her lip-sync against Detox was supposed to be a different song that was not a Jinx Monsoon song at all, and they switched it to
the Malumbo.
To Malumbo number 5, so she could, because that was her, her
jam.
Yeah,
clearly... This song was made for Coco Jumbo.
Yeah, no, that was a Coco Jumbo. Like, I can't even imagine any of those other girls doing that song. That was a clear, like, okay, this is your wheelhouse song. Mm-hmm. This is
gonna be your chance to turn the party, and turn the party she did, and goddamn Art Simone put up a fight, because I honestly thought they could have either double Shantae'd, or did the whole Candy Muse thing and like as she was walking away,
I was like, "Are you gonna tell her that you've changed your mind?
It's like, you're gonna tell her to stop walking, right? You're gonna tell her to stay.
You're gonna go no,
okay,
nope. She hit the house.
She's backstage now.
Okay, I guess we're done. Okay. Oh.
Okay, bye.
I still have no idea. Although now I'm like, well, I guess Karen from Finance is winning.
I mean, Anita is...
Anita's turning the party out, though. I mean, but...
Like, I really liked...
Game, you don't win the season always.
Not necessarily, no. It definitely puts you in the front running. In, like, at least, like, top 5.
Yeah. For
sure. Like I really liked Anita Wiglet's... she did like the siren.
Oh yeah, no, that was really cool.
That was really pretty and really cool.
Yeah. I don't remember much of it because they just called her forward and sent her to the back so quickly. They're like, right. You won. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Because they're gonna go, because they're like, okay, step forward, and then they called in Anita first, and I was like, okay, so obviously tops and bottoms, and then it was like, you won.
You won, bitch.
You won, and like, I have nothing to say to you. That was perfection. Just here's $5,000.
Yeah.
Go sit in the back now, and I was like, oh, okay. But no, I enjoyed her runway. I enjoyed the runways. I enjoyed most of their runways. There's hardly like, there wasn't any that I was really like, this is perfect.
I mean, Coco Jumbo's was a little basic.
It was a little basic,
so
but it still was...
what's her face's? Electroshock's was a little basic. It was pretty, though.
Yeah. Same with Maxie Shields. I mean, Maxie's, because she just was in the pearl number.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was beautiful.
It was pretty.
It was beautiful. I contend that was classy. That was very, like...
I only say basic because it wasn't... if I looked at it, I would not have gotten Under the Sea immediately. Like, I didn't think it was on the nose enough for like their
for the challenge
for that runway topic category. But I thought no, she looked pretty though. Also, Courtney Act is Team Maxie Shield because they've known her for like 20 years.
Oh, good for them. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so before we run out of time, we got to talk about Tamisha Iman versus everybody.
I put Tamisha Iman versus the world.
Versus everybody.
Versus everybody.
Oh, baby.
Good Lord, this was messy, y'all.
It's been so messy and so much. So, people have been going live constantly.
It was like for 3 days straight, it was like Bob goes live, Monet goes live, Tamisha goes live, Candy goes live, Candy goes live again, Bob goes live again with Candy, and you're just like, oh my god, I can't keep track of all this.
Okay, so the biggest thing to know is that Tamisha had said that so Candy had gone live and had basically talked some crap about Tamisha, saying that Tamisha needed to get out of her feelings and just get over the fact that people are going to talk shit about her looks because, this is what we're doing. And so Tamisha then went live and said, you know what, Candy, I want to invite you onto my network. And she even said, though, which I appreciate, she goes, message me and tell me your rate. Because she was going to pay her to come on her network because she was going to be a guest on her.
You got to tip the dolls
on her thing. So I was like, that's cool that she's actually she was going to pay her to sit there and have a conversation, which is perfect. And we're in a world where you need the monies right now. So I was like, good on you, Tamisha. And so later Candy went live again, and then Bob jumped on that live. And Candy was like, I just don't get why she's feeling this way because I think it's dumb and blah, 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 blah. And then Bob said, Candy, you can't tell Tamisha how to feel or who she is because you don't know what her life has been like to bring her to the person that she is right now. Just like she doesn't know what you have gone through to be the person you are right now because you didn't grow up, in Atlanta like Tamisha and, have gone through all of these obstacles and hurdles and survived cancer and did Drag Race with an ostomy bag and all of these things to make her the person that she is right now. Just like she's not saying, she can't say anything about you in that manner and how to feel because she didn't grow up in New York in, Brooklyn as a biracial person. To become the person, that you are right now. And Candy was like it blew her mind. And It was great. It was great to see, her just go,
oh, you're right.
Oh, damn.
That's tea.
That is, and I'm like, you know what, friends? Take that advice. Keep that in your back pocket and hold on to it. Bob the drag queen schooling the children because this is what needs to be. And I also love that every time I see anything about any drama, Bob is always the one who's just like, well, what about this? And just what
about this perspective that you guys didn't think about?
Just shuts it all down, and
everybody's like, holy shit, never thought about it that way.
Which also I think is probably important because Monet was too heated for a lot of this, or just didn't want to deal with it, and Bob was just like, I'm going to take care of this because Monet is my best friend, and I don't want her to have to deal with this when I can do it objectively. Just like if it was like somebody attacking Bob, Monet would be like, oh, no, I got this.
Well, I think even Monet went live and was going to be like, oh, I'm going to, drag this bitch. But she's like, I really don't care, y'all. I'm over this. I've been over this.
I don't have the time or the energy.
I don't have the time nor the energy to give this, any thought because this is all just dumb.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Because it's kind of dumb.
It's gotten to the point where it could have, like... Who was it?
This should have been an email.
It was Keisha Carr was like, yeah, this could have been an email.
This could have been an email.
This is the definition of this could have been an email.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, this did not have to drag on this long.
He drag.
See what I did there?
I see what you did on accident. But so Tamisha has started her network. It's like $25.99 for like the month. However, so she's been having issues with her website, and like I think she said it got hacked. So there was a lot of
her merch website got hacked, not the TV show network.
Well, website. the TV show website is on her regular website, which is where her merch is.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're all connected. And so you think she would have gotten this taken care of first, but she's also a business queen and is capitalizing on the drama and stuff. But apparently, when she had gone live initially with Candy, the website crashed. Because there were so many people logged in to watch it.
Which makes sense.
So she had to send out people a new link to take care of it. And it was also available on YouTube, which is a little shady, but I'm wondering if that one was only available on YouTube because it crashed and she had no way to be able to get the link.
I mean, possibly. I wasn't aware that, because I didn't know that the website that she used for her merch was connected to the website that she used for her
network,
TV or her network show.
Yeah, so that's where that conflama happened. But her and Candy, so because it was on YouTube, I got to watch it, so I watched all of it. It was a lovely conversation. Yeah. Was it the explosive, bullshittery that everybody wanted from this moment?
Everybody wanted this to be another Vixen versus Eureka.
Yeah. It was not that.
It was not that.
And I'm honestly 100% happy.
Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't. I'm so glad that they were able to have just a civil fucking conversation about Drag Race, the toxicity in the Drag Race fandom, and how that can affect the Queen's post-show. And it was really interesting to get their perspectives on because Tamisha she's not a spring chicken.
No.
She's not super used to, she doesn't really know how to use the social media or the proper, avenues to use social media and
to address her
fans. And whereas Candy and a lot of the other younger queens are this should have been top thing.
Oh yeah. And I appreciate that it was not met with hostility. I mean, because Tamisha was I didn't want to say anything in that moment when all of these fans were coming for Candy when Candy sent Tamisha home in that lip sync. They're I did not want to say anything to draw more attention to it because I thought that would be adding fuel to the fire. Even if I said, don't come at her, because anything I said could have been taken out of context and been
been flipped and been
blown up, which made sense. But Candy's perspective was but even if you had said something and it got twisted, but I saw that you had said this, I would have felt better to have been damn.
I had my sister without from
Tamisha and I aren't friends, but Tamisha at least has my back in this moment because it got nasty real quick because people were
sending death threats to her mom
because it wasn't even that, because Candy even said it wasn't even so much that when they were coming after her, but they got a hold of her mom's social media network or account and started sending death threats to her mom, which was absurd. Who the fuck does that?
Drag Race fans, they're fucking nuts. We are fucking nuts.
I mean, we are fucking nuts, but we're not
I'm not throwing death threats at a queen's mom.
I'm not throwing death threats at anybody.
At anybody. Good Lord.
Because it's messy and it's stupid, and we can have opinions about things and say this is my opinion on things, because we'll sit here and we'll tell you how it is when a queen's look is booger boots. But at the end of the day, that queen has. I
live for Tamisha Iman.
Oh yeah, or I remember the first thing you said when we were going through the finale looks, and you're Rosé's boot. You're but Rosé's fucking.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
that's all you get, you greedy fucks.
And that's all the time we have for Drag Race 20. Join us next week when we'll talk more bullshit and fuckery.
Because there's gonna be more bullshit and fuckery.
Absolutely. Yeah. But for right now, let's have a quick break. And we're back again.
Hello.
Hi.
Let's talk about Invincible.
Oh, bitch.
I'm loving this fucking show. It is It is like this
episode wasn't even that exciting, like comparatively to like the last 2 episodes, and
but, it's still like we're what's gonna happen next? I mean I must know.
Also, Amazon Prime and like does not give you time to think about if you want to watch the next episode. They're like 3, 2, 1, and we're starting. I was like,
no, stop it.
And it takes more and more will to not just because I'm sitting there and I'm like, I can watch another episode. Yeah. I could just totally watch another episode. Nobody would know. And I was like, they'd absolutely know because I won't remember what came in which episode. I'll have to take notes. And JJ will be like, why'd you take notes?
I call Wigatry. Rigor mortis.
Rigor mortis. I'll need my Cliff notes.
Your Cliff's notes?
Yep.
You mean Cliff's notes? Who the fuck is Cliff?
Oh, Alyssa Edwards.
Oh my god.
She brings me joy. I realize that I think 90% of the time we just quote Alyssa Edwards and I'm okay with it.
I mean, so does 90% of the fan race, the Drag Race fandom.
She's so quotable. So quotable. Okay. Anyways.
But this episode starts off, there's the funeral for the Guardians of the Globe, and Omni-Man is giving the eulogy. I think it's interesting they make a note that they actually bury them at a separate, like, undisclosed location because...
Like Superman.
So that, like, gross people don't rob their graves. Because I'm like, oh yeah, because people are fucked.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was like, you didn't watch any of the... because you watched Batman v Superman, but you didn't watch any of the other ones. Or no, you didn't see Batman v Superman.
I did.
You did? Okay, because they like made a whole point to be like, oh yeah, we're burying him somewhere else, so they have like another.
Lord knows I forgot that point.
It might have been in the extended cut. I've only seen the extended cut because that was what was available on HBO.
It could have been, or I forgot.
Or you forgot. That checks out.
I mean,
but they did that in Superman. Like, they did that to Superman. They buried him somewhere else so he can be,
actually rest in peace rather than
rest in peace instead of the
having
bullshit.
gross people.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that the title card like comes in randomly as a person speaks the word or is about to say the word invincible.
Yeah, well, because it usually, like, the last 2 ones, they came at the end when he was saying invincible. And I do love that it came at the beginning like that, too, and you're just like, ha.
Tee-hee, I see what you did there.
Giggle, giggle.
Giggle, giggle. But yeah, so, post-funeral, Omni-Man has a word with the demon detective because he's, like, clearly somebody... This was got to be some sort of inside job. There was only a certain number of people in there. Nobody else was there. What the fuck was going on?
And how did you survive?
Like, what's the tea? And Omni-Man's like, get the fuck away from me. I already told you what I
said what I
said, little girl. And so he's like, okay, fine, whatever.
And then the government decides to have Robot create a new Guardians of the Globe.
Because we need a group of superheroes to save the planet, so why not entrust it to a sentient robot who can, calculate to all the different variables to put the best team together.
Yes. And Robot's like, sure, I'll do it.
And he's like, cool, that's neat.
It's like, you go, Robot Zachary Quintos.
Mm-hmm. There's this moment where, and we've seen it kind of a couple times in the first couple episodes where Omni-Man sort of like loses his cool for a moment.
Oh yeah, no, we've seen it in every episode in random little spots, and then it twists again. So, because it was one of those things, like, because when we see it in the first episode, you're kind of like, huh. And then it quickly turns around and you're like, okay, this man's obviously dealing with a lot of bullshit right now. And It's a very human response. And you're like, this is kind of nice. And then he like goes and kills a bunch of people and you're like, oh, maybe that was a tell.
Maybe there's something a little bit more sinister happening.
Yeah, it's like, maybe this is a tell. And then we see it again in the next episode and you're like, huh.
This is...
And then you see it again in this episode and you're like, okay.
There's
a
like
pattern.
There's clearly they're establishing like little breadcrumbs of this pattern to the point where like even his wife is like, yo, what the fuck's going on? Like, why are you so? Because they're like home from the funeral and he's like completely dismissive about it. He doesn't want to talk about it. Doesn't want to speak anything about the funeral.
And not in a like clearly I'm grieving. I want to be like I I'm grieving, so please don't talk to me about this right now moment, kind of dismissive. It was, okay, so that's done, so what do you want to do now?
Yeah, like, he's just, like, acting like it's all hunky-dory, and, like, things are just, like, let's move on, we've got lives to live, and all that kind of stuff. And which is the antithesis of what Mark is experiencing, because he is clearly devastated.
Yeah.
Like, he can't even, like, function at the loss of, while he's grieving the loss of the Guardians. And it's, like, this really interesting kind of dichotomy where, like, two people can respond so differently to the same
type of grief.
To the same type of, like, traumatic event. And even Omni-Man is like, as a superhero, I cannot let this affect my home life. I keep my superhero life separate. Well, that's a really interesting kind of notion to, like, it's kind of like, leave your work at work. Don't let that affect your personal life.
Which is, like, would normally be a smart thing to say, but you're kind of like, we're on to you, Omni-Man.
Yeah, but we've eaten some of these breadcrumbs. We've been keeping track of the receipts, and we're like, I don't know. I don't know about you.
But what I love about, like, that whole exchange also is she's like, because his wife, Debbie, is like, those are your friends. He's like, those aren't my friends.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, whoa.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whoa, bro. And so it was just very, like, it was very that.
Very much that. And so, like, I think that's such an interesting kind of, like, we don't really see this kind of, like, effect of, like, the death of superheroes and how it affects other superheroes.
No, absolutely. And I love how Mark decides to take care of this by calling up Amber.
Mm-hmm. He calls up Amber for a little steady booty call. I don't know if we call it a booty call, but, like, for a steady date.
All I can think of is that Weakest Link game that we play on the PlayStation. Uh-huh. Because I always play as Amber because she sounds like a sex work operator. And he
I'm Amber.
And he always call Amber.
Call Amber.
And so she's like, who's this? And
it freaks him out. He's like, oh, it's Mark from school. She's like, I'm just fucking with you, bro. And I love that because it's like, it's neat to see, like, a teenage girl, like, be the aggressive one.
Yeah.
Where it's always the teenage boy, like, hounding over, like, trying to get to the girl. And it's clear, like, Amber is into Mark. It's so clear.
Yeah.
And she makes it, like, abundantly clear to him. And he reacts like, oh, like, I don't know how to deal with this because I'm a teenage boy and I don't know how to deal with the advances of a girl, or I don't know how to deal with any of this sexual tension.
And I love that because he's a superhero. Like, he's
absolutely,
like, he's invincible.
He's literally invincible, and, like, a girl could get him to, like, fumble so much.
Yeah, no, it's great. They're gonna have a study date, and it's super cute. And the government's spying on Omni-Man's house.
Because I guess, like, I want to say that the lead government guy, I never remember his name, director something or rather.
That one dude.
Is trying, either he's trying to appease the demon detective, and he's like, okay, fine, I'll just put surveillance on the guy's house. Or if he actually, like, I think you've said this before. Does he actually believe, like?
Does he know?
Does he know, or is he just, like, kind of playing dumb for?
Yeah, I feel like he knows, but he doesn't want him to know that he knows that he knows.
Absolutely, because if he knows that he knows that he knows he knows, then he will know that shit's fucked up.
Yeah, exactly, and then he has to deal with it. Oh, yeah, and then we find out that Rex is a douchebag.
Spoiler alert! And it's in a pretty gross way, too.
Yeah, no, so Eve goes back to, I like that you called it the Teen Titan home.
I don't know. Yeah, because it is.
It is, this is the Teen Titan home. So she goes back to, like, their compound and is like, oh, man, like, I'm dealing with some, like, emotional problems or whatever, and she sees Duplicate. Kate. I still think her name's so stupid. It's perfect. And so she's talking to Kate, who's, like, in, like, a towel, like, getting ready to go take a shower. Mm-hmm. And she's like, then she hears noises, and she's like, wait, what's that? And then Rex is having sex with Duplicate.
Yeah, he comes out of the same shower.
Out of the shower with Duplicate and realizes that she's talking to a
duplicate of Duplicate.
And then, so she's like, oh my god, are you serious? And then
The third one
weird one. So he was like having his little,
he's having his whole
teenage wet dream in there.
Absolutely.
And Rex is like, well, we all know that you're like, you're
macking up on Invincible. Yeah,
you're fucking Invincible. And she's like, are you kidding me right now? Like no, that's not even stupid. A little bit happening.
Not even the slightest bit true.
And so
obviously she's like pissed and like runs off, and he's like, duh, but wait. I'm exploded. I'm a good man.
Yeah, but he's not. But he's not. He's terrible, and so she bounces, and she's all pissed.
And understandably so.
Absolutely.
She is. Her anger is warranted because that is fucked.
Yep, and so then we see them do tryouts for the new Justice League.
Mm-hmm. Robot.
I mean the Guardians of the Globe. But so they're doing tryouts, and Invincible's like, I'm not gonna try out because my dad said no.
my dad said I couldn't.
My dad's too cool to join teams, so I'm too cool to join teams. Yeah. But really, my dad will probably be mad at me if I do.
Right. I guess that's the legit, because he says, "Oh, my dad wants to train him, train me myself or himself," and I'm like, I guess that's it's like a legit,
but yeah.
But I'm like,
but
it's still kind of suspicious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't want you anywhere near.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
And it's being suspicious.
Yeah. So it's kind of one of those things that I think that if we didn't know what we know, we'd be like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, like
he's bonding with his child.
Yeah,
but when you're like, oh.
Yeah, like the subtext.
Everything's suspect at this point.
Yeah.
So all of these like superheroes and like teenage superheroes, they're all competing against each other.
They like battle like 1-on-1 to see who like gets into the group, and then
I love the Monster Girl.
Oh yeah, Monster Girl like totally calls out Rexplode.
Oh yeah, because he's being a douchebag. He's like this little girl, and she's like, excuse me.
Excuse me.
And then turns into a monster. Like it beats the shit.
Living shit out of this kid.
And then Invincible like goes in there too. Like he's like, hey, you need to stop. And so he like flies in and like punches the shit out of the Monster Girl. And then she turns into a little girl. They're like, Invincible just punched a little girl.
He's like, but wait, but no, she was a monster.
She was a monster.
Yeah.
I was like, dude. Superhero teenagers are assholes.
Right? They're complete dicks to each other.
Right, and Rexplode's like, I didn't need your help. And you're like, you're about to die, bro.
You're gonna die. But it's hysterical. We find out that Adam Eve,
yes,
Rexplode, Duplicate, some guy named like, I want to say like Black Thunder or something like that. Because he's black.
What, Black Falcon?
or what do they call you? Just Black Falcon?
Do they call you Black Kid?
Yeah, do they call you just Black Kid? And Monster Girl.
Yeah.
They make the team.
They all make the team, and they're gonna...
And then there's this moment, there's a really poignant moment where, like, Monster Girl's explaining, like, oh, part of my power is that there's a curse to my powers that every time I use it, I progressively get younger and younger.
Because she's, like, 26.
Yeah, like, because she's actually, like, in her mid-20s, like I said, but she looks like a 12-year-old girl.
Yeah.
And she kind of, like, says, like, I hate it when people, like, just look at me from the outside and don't kind of like look deeper
within. And then also that because she's like dating is hard because it's either pedophiles or 12-year-old boys. Yeah, and she's like, I can't find love. I can't do anything. This is where I am. And Robot's like, I understand. And then she's like a total little bitch about it. She's like, who the fuck cares? You're a robot.
Yeah, that's what I said. She's like, you're a fucking robot, and walks away.
And you're like, how dare you? You just did what you said you hate people doing.
Right?
Fuck you, Monster Girl.
And so it's like, yeah, this like really poignant moment that's like subverted because she's like a teenage dick.
Yeah.
But I bring it up because there's like this moment where like, there's like a moment where he's like, nobody knows what I'm truly thinking or something like that.
Yeah.
And you're like, the fuck?
Yeah.
You're like, what is going on here? And
foreshadowing.
Yeah, no, like ding 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 ding, foreshadowing. And so now Mark's back at his house to entertain Amber and their study date.
Entertain. Yes, they have their study date. It's super cute and awkward, and he's all getting it ready, and then she's there, and then he keeps getting these phone calls, and he's like, we're going to ignore it, because it's like Spider-Man tried ignoring Nick Fury's calls, and he's like, we're going to ignore it. Still says unknown, I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to turn this off.
Still fucking rings.
He's like, what the fuck? And she's like, I'm going to go
to the bathroom.
And you deal with this, and when I come back, it'll be fine. And then the government
dude, like, teleports in.
Yeah. It's like, you need to go solve this problem.
Yeah, you need to go fucking do this thing that I've been trying to call your ass
because I can't have these new Guardians of the Globes do it because they're not...
trained enough or whatever, or they're not, like, ready to be...
Oh, we forgot to say that Adam Eve turned down the position for the Guardians of the Globe because she says she can't be on a team with Rexplode.
That's right, yeah. She's
like, I can't be on a team with Rex and Kate.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And so so Invincible and Adam Eve, because they're not part of that group, get sent off to go deal with
Doc Seismic.
Doc Seismic, that's his name. At Mount Rushmore, who has...
And he spouts off, like, he, like, calls out, like, Mount Rushmore and all the figures on him for being, like, slave owners and, like, being problematic figures. And I'm like, he's not lying. He's like, why worship these guys when all this problematic shit happened in their history where you can worship me?
And you're like... I see it. Oh, no, now we're problematic again.
You're like, ooh.
And so he causes, like, earthquakes.
Yeah, he has, like, these bracelets that, like, cause earthquakes.
Cause earthquakes, but, like, if he does too many earthquakes with his bracelets, it gives him a headache.
Something like that.
Something happens, but they, I don't know, they fight him. It was cool. He saves people from lava. Mm-hmm.
He ends up, like, falling into the lava after, like, Adam Eve tries to, like, save him. In this, like, trying to, like...
And she, like, doesn't fly during this. Like, she can fly, but she doesn't fly during any of this point to, like, help him do anything.
Yeah, she just uses her, like, pink energy things to, like, grab him.
Why aren't you flying?
It's like, but you could easily do this, but, yeah.
But whatevs, it's fine. But they save the day, and then he goes home, and Mark's dad sees them and is like, hey, you gotta balance out all of your things so you can have a balanced life. So go up there and...
Fuck that girl!
Go up there and have sex with that girl. But first change your clothes.
Change your clothes first.
Because you're still in your superhero costume.
So yeah, you need to change. You need to do it. He's like, oh shit, oh that's right.
And so he goes up and you're like... And again, it's like, I love that we have these really sweet moments between Mark and his dad. But, like, because it's just, like, building to, like, there's going to be something big happen.
Yeah, something's going to, like... If episode 1 has been any indication of, like... Don't trust what you see.
Yeah.
Like, some shit's gonna be going down. And then we get to Adam Eve officially, like, Rexplode, like, makes, like, this really romantic gesture, like, making fireworks display.
And was like, it's fine. We can be together. It's okay.
Yeah, and she's like, fuck no, you're gross.
And he never apologized to her.
Nope, he never does.
He never apologizes, and she's just like, you know what? I can't deal with you. And I love that they have this moment because it would have been in, I think, any other type of series, it would have been like, aw, I love you too.
Right.
It's fine, but it's not fine.
No, it's not fine. Like, you crossed a boundary and you broke somebody's trust.
Yeah.
And that's...
You need to earn that trust back before it's just not given back.
Yeah, you can't just, like, ignore that.
Yeah,
and just, so... like, continue on. So like,
Eve bounces, and then she goes and sees...
So she's like, she like goes and she's like, okay, now that I'm done with Rexplode, but Mark though.
Well, and I think that it's kind of like, well, maybe I can see where this goes, or maybe like if anything, it'll just be like I can lean on a friend, and then she goes and she sees them making out, and she's like, yeah.
She's like hurt.
And she's
hurt,
and she's I think disappointed that this is happening, but at the same time she goes to leave. She's like, you know what? Good for you.
Good for you. And I'm like, Adam and Eve greater than MJ. Absolutely.
So far, all of these female characters are greater than
every
MJ.
single female character in this show greater than MJ.
So far, we'll see. They can still fuck it up.
I mean, yeah, that's true. We're still only 3 episodes in.
Yeah, because even though like one could say, well, no, Duplicate was the one who was fucking Rex, but she was like, I thought you guys were over because he told me you guys were done because you'd moved on with Invincible.
Because Rexplode is an asshole.
Yep. You know what? Rexplode, not greater than even Flash Thompson.
Oh, yeah.
Flash is even better than you, man.
And that's, like,
That's pretty low hanging fruit. So
yeah. So now we get to the some government facility prison thing, and we see I think they're called the Mahler twins, those blue guys from the first episode.
The bad guys from episode 1.
And they're like stuck in their cells.
Yes.
And then we see this like shadowy figure, like flip a switch, and then like leaves like a latch open. Like
because it's feeding time.
Yeah, it's feeding time, and like so they have to like open the latch from the outside, put the food in, and then close that, and then open it from the inside so the prisoner can get it. But some shadowy figure flips a switch, and like both doors stay open. And as the guard is reaching to bring the food in, the other guy's like, "Hey." And he's like, "I'm sorry, Tim," or something like that. But I'm gonna have to
fuck you up.
I'm gonna have to fuck you up. And so he proceeds to fuck him up. So
my favorite part about all of that is that then to get out, he has to get the hand to like go on the panel to open it.
He's like trying to like get this like flimsy hand to like get onto the scanner.
And it fails like 4 times in a row before it finally like lines up perfectly, and I'm like, thank you, accuracy. This is wonderful.
Yes, because it would have been unbelievable to like have it the first time round.
Yeah. So 1, that's brilliant. 2, I really wanted chicken pot pie after this.
Right? All they were saying was like, it's chicken pot pie night. It's like, ooh, chicken pot pie.
I was like, I want some chicken pot pie.
Yeah. Apparently, government held aliens love the chicken pot pie night.
And so the twins escape.
They escape, and they're like on the outside and like get like obliterated. One of them gets obliterated by like he gets a limb knocked off, and then the other one like picks him up and like uses him to like as a shield to like then get the fuck out of there.
Because he's like, I can always make another clone.
I can always make another clone, even though like we still don't know who the original or who the clone is, because they keep going back and forth. I'm the original because I did this.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's a moot point.
No, nobody really fucking cares.
Yeah.
And then we go back into the facility and we find out that it was fucking Robot who released them.
Yeah, and you're like, what the fuck,
Robot? What the fuck, Robot? Like, why are you releasing these prisoners? What is the point of this? So we're like...
So we'll have to wait and find out.
We have to wait for the next episode.
But wait, there's more.
There's this... So, like, the final scene is at Omni-Man's house.
Yes.
The mom, I think she's like typing on her, she's like doing work on her.
She's doing her real estate work because she's a real estate agent.
Because she's a real estate agent.
Because remember, she sold a house that had a murder in it because she says lightning doesn't strike twice.
Absolutely. And good for her. Good on her. And like we get the moment where she like feels cold and you can see her breath. And we're like, uh-oh, Demon Detective, and Demon Detective pops up and he like starts questioning her about like
Omni-Man
and like
the Guardians
and like, what do you know? He must have told you something. And she's like, bitch, he already told you what he said what he has said.
But then she's starting to get a little bit of doubt because then Omni-Man shows up and he was like, who are you talking to? And she was like, nobody, I was just finishing up work, I'm going to bed. Mm-hmm. And so doesn't say anything, and then as he turns around, turns to camera, and then you just see a little breath, and you're like, oh, he knows.
Yeah.
He knows.
Mm-hmm. There is this moment where, like, apparently the reason why the Demon Detective is a Demon Detective because he's, like, trying to save lives so he can, like, redeem his soul or some shit like that.
Some bullshit like that.
Some weird, and you're like, okay, sure. Demon Detective, you do you, boo.
So I'm excited to watch another episode so we can talk about it. I'm going to watch it again far too early because I'm really, like, I'll probably watch it tonight and then, like...
And then forget, and you're like, okay.
And then read through all of your notes that you take because you take copious notes, so I can be like, yep, that's what happened. Or I'll watch, like a review channel or something real quick. Okay, but JJ... Did you watch the season finale?
The actual season finale? Yes,
Mandalorian?
Yes, I did, and by gum, it was
so good.
So good. So good.
So, we can talk about all the bullshit that leads into it, or we can talk about the good shit.
Well, let's just just to kind of like really recap, they invade what's his face.
Spoiler alert.
Yes, absolute spoiler alert for things that happened like 6 months ago. Yeah. They storm the ship.
Moff Gideon's.
Moff Gideon's ship to try to save Grogu. they're like, shooting all the things, all the stormtroopers, or they like separate so that like because you have like the 2 Mandalorians that he helped earlier, Boba Fett, Fennec. They're going off and like trying to stir some shit and try to invade the cockpit where Moff Gideon is, and while the Mandalorian is kind of like sneaking his way to Grogu. And so they like, they fuck shit up. They end up getting to the cockpit with Moff Gideon, but Moff Gideon's not there, and they're like, "What the fuck? What's happening?" Mandalorian gets to Grogu, and Moff Gideon's there with the Darksaber, and he's like, "I'm gonna fuck this kid up," meh, meh, meh. And he's like, "No, not my baby." So he like spouts some stuff about like, oh, I put like. Gideon activates the Dark Troopers to kind of like keep the to kind of protect protect the things, and I put like, I guess they're activated through dubstep.
Yes.
Like all the dubstep happens during the activation of these Dark Troopers.
Yes.
But like and they're scary as hell. Gideon was like, "Yeah, I knew that your plan from the start. I was going to be waiting for you this whole time." He tells him like, "Oh, the Darksaber is, the owner of the lights. That Darksaber has true dominion over the Mandalorian throne, and you have to like win it in a battle. You have to like, win it in a battle basically.
Yes.
You can't just like hand it over." And so like Mando like kicks his ass and brings Moff Gideon to the cockpit where all the other people are. He has got baby Grogu. He's like, "Here, take this Darksaber." And
I don't want it.
I don't want it anymore. And she's like, "I fucking can't."
Okay, so fun facts from Joanna. So what's the big deal about this, from what I've gathered, because I don't actually watch this other show, but in the Clone Wars show, Bo-Katan was handed the Darksaber during the Clone Wars and was like, "Here, this is yours now." And she's like, "Cool, now I'm in charge of, Mandalore." And immediately loses it to Moff Gideon, like, hardcore. And so she realizes, and so it's like, everybody's like, "Well, why can't you just give it to her? Because somebody gave it to you before." So my theory, the working theory, is that she realizes that she can't just be given it to, because she's just going to lose it again. She has to actually earn it to be able to keep it. And she's like, "You can't just fucking give it to me because I have to actually beat you." And he's like, "I yield." He goes, "It's not how it works.
It's not how that works."
And he's like, "But I yield."
He's like, "I don't want it. Just fucking take it."
So that'll be fun things for season 3.
3 to figure out, like,
but
who's the true, like, all the fallout from that.
So, but my question is, when you found out that there was a Jedi coming, did you know immediately, or did it take you a hot minute before you realized it was Luke?
Well, I saw that it was a green lightsaber, and I'm trying to rack my brain. Who had a fucking green lightsaber? And my first instinct, it was Obi-Wan. Mm-hmm. Then I went like, wait, I think Qui-Gon. I can't. Again,
is after the prequels. Qui-Gon did.
Yeah, he's dead.
In the prequels.
Yeah, he's dead. Like, but at this point,
you're like, I don't fucking know.
I don't fucking know who's got it. And then it's not until like he fucking showed his face, I was like, holy shit, it's fucking Luke.
Oh, because as soon as you saw the lone X-wing, I was like, is it Luke? Is it Luke? Oh, maybe it's not. Is it Luke? And then he started fighting. I was like, it's Luke. It's Luke. Is it Luke? Is it Luke? And then then he showed it, and I was like, it's Luke!
It's fucking Luke!
Yeah, so it was a big, big fucking deal. And I'm not gonna lie, he looked pretty good.
Like, was there like CGI? Or was it like, how did they make...
It was a CGI. It wasn't a deep fake, it was a CGI, like, de-aging process. Like...
Okay, so that was actually Mark Hamill?
No, it was not actually Mark Hamill there. They, like, had, like, a body double and, like, de-aged him.
Got it, okay.
And Mark Hamill was I think told that it was going to happen, and I knew something was going to happen because I think I saw him post on Twitter before I had watched the episode. He's like, "So how'd you guys like that? How'd you guys like the Mandalorian finale?" And I was like, "Wow, something big must have really happened if Mark Hamill's talking about it." And then I was like, "Oh, that's why he was talking about it, because you was in it, sort of." And it was badass. He fucked up everybody.
Oh yeah, he those dark stormtroopers or whatever. They were like basically like fish fodder.
Yes, and it was actually almost, I think, shot for shot the same choreography that from Rogue One when Darth Vader is going through fucking up people.
Oh, the movie I fell asleep
during. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, okay, cool.
But he fucks up some shit, and it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool.
And then we see R2, and you're like, oh my god, yeah, that's cool. But then you realize, oh yeah, this is the moment where Mando has to give up Baby Grogu to Luke, and he
did your stone heart quiver?
My stone heart like cracked a little. Yes, absolutely, because he like takes off his hat or his helmet and is like to kind of like face to face.
And it's the first time that Grogu saw his face, and he touches it.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, no, Daddy.
That's my daddy.
That's Daddy. And like, so he's like trying to reassure him, like, no, you can go, because he's clearly like, no, I want to stay with Mandalorian.
I want to stay with my dad.
I want to stay with my dad. But he's like, no, you need to go to. It's safe. You need to go to Hair Skywalker here and learn some Jedi shit. And he's like, okay.
And then he toddles over, and then they go, and then he says the thing. Right? Don't they say, may the force be with you?
He does say, may the force be with you. And you're like,
they say the thing. They say the thing. And then the episode's over, but not quite.
But not quite, because then we get, I guess I guess her name is Finnick. I just call him Ming-Na.
Yeah.
Ming-Na and Boba Fett, they make their way into some it's some hut, not Jabba, but some other hut.
It was the other hut. It was the next guy who took over.
Yeah. Fucks him up and like take his throne or something.
Yeah. So they fucked up some shit, and they sitting on a throne, and then it says the Book of Boba Fett, because we're getting a Boba Fett series.
Mm-hmm. So I guess it's like a spin-off, like.
It's just another series in this universe, because we get in all sorts of shows.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Bad Batch is apparently like 2 episodes in, and I haven't even started watching that.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. They released that May the 4th.
Yeah, I know they did. I still haven't watched it.
I watched this episode May the 4th. Because I was like, TV.
So now we're patiently waiting Mandalorian Season 3. I don't know if they're recasting Cara Dune, or if they're just getting rid of her character, but she's problematic, and so she's not
we'll see.
Anymore.
Yeah,
we'll find out.
I think from what I've read, the Book of Boba Fett is supposed to hit like around Christmas time.
Possibly.
I don't know. And Mandalorian, the third season of Mandalorian, probably sometime next year.
Probably. Who knows?
So.
But let's take a quick break.
Okay. Oh my God, I cannot with the housing market right now, Joanna.
Have I not told you about Capital Realty Center?
Oh, the premier realty group that supported and succeeded throughout the California landscape? Now I remember.
If that's what you're looking for, call Kathy Johnson at 916-606-0687 to win that next bid.
That's Kathy Johnson with Capital Realty Center at 916-606-0687. License number 02021378.
And we're back again.
Hello.
Hi. Do you have a nice break?
It was so good. Got a good stretch in.
Wonderful. Let's talk about some upcoming things.
Holy shit, Stranger Things released a trailer.
They released a couple trailers. I think there's supposed to be 4 teaser trailers. I think we've seen 2 of them so far.
So far, yes.
2 of them. So I think there's 2 more that's going to come out. Because in the description, it's that the first one was 01/04, and people are like, what does it mean? And then the next one came out and it says 02/04, and everybody's like, it's the second one of 4. The second one of 4 teaser trailers. But they're not giving us a whole lot.
No,
but I'm so excited.
All we really get is like we're probably going to be exploring Eleven's like time in that facility lab thing, possibly introducing us to other, because we've only seen like what. We saw the one in the one episode that nobody liked last season. Right. And that's right, because she was like bad 11 and she like had black hair, right?
Yeah, and she was there, and it was just it had nothing to do with the plot line. So everybody was like, "Why are we on this side quest?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "Bros, it's a backdoor pilot. That's now not going to get greenlit." So thanks.
So thanks, because you couldn't appreciate what you were given. So yeah, and then we hear, I think, what's his face, the main doctor guy that died in the first season. We hear him come up again as like, hey, 11, are you listening?
Yeah. And then we see her eyes open. She goes, oh!
Yeah.
And you're like, ooh. And then also, wasn't there like in the first little teaser trailer, like, was it in the teaser trailer? Like, somewhere they're like not even pretending like Hopper's not back. Like, because they're like, Hopper died at the end of the last one. And they're like, no, he didn't. He's still here.
Yeah, I mean, we're all waiting in anticipation to hear officially what happened to him, but even from the last little scene from the last season where they were like in some like weird Russian compound and they heard there was like some dude there and we're like, is that Hopper?
So,
we still don't know.
It's all speculation at this point, but it's coming, and I can't wait.
I'm so excited. Such excited.
And then we talked last week about the names of like Marvel things. But now we get to see what we didn't do beforehand was watch all the trailers, but we've watched them now. Mm-hmm. And there weren't even trailers. It was Marvel getting you hyped to go back to the movies because the movie theaters are all opening up again. And I was already there, but
for sure
the whole trailer was great. Like I felt like emotions and things like when everybody was like losing their mind during the end game because that was a bit in that clip where they were showing
like from their opening night
opening night in the theaters when you hear Falcon go, hey Cap, on your left, and all the people come in and everybody like loses their goddamn mind, and then Cap catches Milner and then says Avengers Assemble,
and then everybody loses fucking their shit. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that was me opening night because I was also losing my shit with everybody else, and it was so great and exciting, and I want to go to the movies again.
Yes.
And have
all the excites.
But we got to see a little bits of a tease for Eternals, which we haven't seen any footage for Eternals at all.
Yeah, it was like, I think from a new Rockstar's video, it was like a total of 14 seconds of footage.
I don't even think it was that long.
It's like very little footage. We get to see like glimpses of like characters lined up in a row, and like Angelina Jolie's character has like this cool looking blade, and
it was like a flicker in time, but we're eating it out.
Oh yeah. Can't wait.
So excited. And then they announced all of the titles that we talked about last time. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, which I lied. It comes out in June. I think it's like June 2022. I didn't have a date on the picture that I had grabbed. We do have a date. It's the first one out of all of those to be released. But so we have Wakanda Forever. We have the Marvels. Eternals. We have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
And then Ant-Man Quantumania.
And then the ones that are being released either early next year or through this year, we have Black Widow, which we also got new footage for, which was exciting.
Yeah, a couple of little seconds of new footage.
So Black Widow's first, then Eternals is in November, which was mind-blowing that we finally got footage because we hadn't yet. And it was like, that's not that far away, guys. And then No Way Home, Spider-Man No Way Home is in December, and then I think February, March is Doctor Strange. Multiverse of Madness. And so like all of the things.
All of the things happening and then, so close to each other. So there's just so much.
There's so much, and then it ends with we'll see you at the movies, and I was like,
yes you will.
Yes.
I will be there, goddammit.
We'll be there. It's so exciting, so much, but we still have. And they had the Fantastic Four logo. Oh, we also forgot about Shang-Chi.
Oh yeah, that's coming out sometime in the summer.
Yes, sometime I think.
I want to say July.
No, that's Black Widow. Black Widow's July.
September,
yeah, because it's the day before my birthday.
Yeah, that's right.
And then Eternals is the day before your birthday.
Correct.
Thank you, Marvel.
Yay!
Thank you, Daddy Feige.
Right. I did put here that like despite a lot of the buzz around the movies that they did show, there was a lot of people have been pointing out the lack of anything about Blade and Inhumans.
Well, I'm assuming that because we probably won't see. Inhumans I know nothing about, and Blade.
They had like a really bad TV show.
Yeah, it's probably not considered canon, and they're just scrapping it.
I think that's what's happening.
And then Blade is probably just so far down the line that they're waiting to do anything with it yet or to talk more about it because they teased it.
They teased it like a couple, yeah.
But they're like, I think because everything got held up because of COVID and waiting for more things, and it's got pushed even further back. They're like, we're just gonna wait. We have given the children enough nuggets.
Like, I've given you all this shit, and you're complaining about Blade. Fuck off!
Especially because there's not even a date released for Fantastic Four. They're literally just using the Fantastic Four logo as the Marvel Phase 4 like symbol right now.
Right.
With like, it's coming. I'm giving you nothing. Like, they're not giving us anything for Fantastic Four either. But people are bitching about Blade. Blade's gonna be fine, guys. Mahershala Ali's gonna be fine. It's gonna be great. We'll wait and just appreciate the nuggets that we have, especially because Loki got a new release date.
And it's earlier?
It is going to be a few days earlier because it was supposed to be on Fridays, but now it's going to be on Wednesday, so it's going to be June 9th. And I think that they moved it because they wanted to get, I think, enough episodes out, because it'll be all of the episodes except for the final episode will be released before Black Widow. And that's my theory. Either that or they're like, let's try to get people to watch shit on Wednesday because we have enough shit that comes out on Friday and it crashes our system.
I mean, perhaps.
Lucifer is coming back. I'm so excited. May 28th. I love Lucifer. So, season 5, part 2. I want more. It's going to be bananas. We finally have a date for Drag Race España. May 30th. On WoW Presents.
Mm-hmm. They're just chugging out all these drag races.
Yeah, so it's like, well, because if that's May 30th, then
it'll be just overlapping. It'll be like the final like couple episodes of.
It's gonna overlap with Down Under, unless we have like some like double sachets in there that shorten the season up because it's supposed to be a short season, but we'll see. So we're gonna have all the things on WoW, and then you put one down. I'll let you talk about this one.
Sailor Moon is coming to Netflix, guys. There's a movie coming. It's actually a couple movies, I think, is what I saw. And I'm kind of high key a Sailor Moon fan. I mean, if you hadn't
I hadn't noticed that every time you can reference a Sailor Moon transformation, you do.
Absolutely.
I haven't noticed at all in all of our years of friendship.
But yeah, like 2 new movies are coming to Netflix, and despite being a Sailor Moon fan, I haven't seen a lot of like the newer stuff. I know that like I think the whole like a whole couple seasons were uploaded to Hulu a while back.
Well, all of the old Sailor Moon is on Hulu right now. Because I started rewatching from the beginning some of the old Sailor Moons.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It's still just as ridiculous and wonderful.
In its campy glory.
And it's all of its campy glory. It's so much, and I'm ready for a Sailor Moon movie.
Yeah, like I saw Sailor Moon as a kid, but up until like the Outer Planet Scouts came into the play. So like I'm not like super into like that far into like the.
Oh yeah, no, because I remember lore. Mercury, Venus.
Because it was
all
Mars,
Mars, and then I remember Sailor Jupiter. I think Sailor Jupiter was the last one that I remembered. Mm-hmm. I don't anything past that. I don't.
Yeah, like there was.
Because I liked Sailor Jupiter. I thought she was cool.
She was the Geen one.
Yeah, she was the Geen one.
But yeah, so Sailor Moon's coming, and that's like within a couple months, June. So all the
like
things,
less
y'all.
Than a couple months. It's May, boob. It's next month.
I don't know time.
Time doesn't exist.
Time doesn't exist any
construct. Longer. But hey, that's it. That's all we got.
Yeah.
We've completed a podcast.
Sorta.
So, thanks for listening to Nobody Asked Our Opinion. You can send us an email with any and all of your opinions at nobodyaskedouropinion@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram at Nobody Asked Our Opinion. And if you want to listen to us on YouTube, every once in a while there are extra things on the YouTube. Or as of right now, I think only one video has pictures with it also. But if you want to do the YouTube, you can follow us at Nobody Asked Our Opinion Podcast. You can follow me at Joey Snow 2006.
And follow me at pianoman_05.
Follow our unpaid intern, Natalia, at The Third Rule Creative, and our producer, Jonathan, at Jelly Sound. rate us, leave us a review wherever you get your podcasts. Tell your friends because we want to have shots with Kelly Clarkson, y'all.
Yeah, and you need to tell more people about it so that it can actually manifest.
So it can happen. So join us again on Friday to hear us talk about a Spider-Man movie that I'm trying to remember which one it is. Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3. Oh, God. Yeah. Don't watch it. Just listen to us.
Just listen to us.
Because
derail it.
we did all of that work for you, so you don't have to watch that movie ever again. So you're welcome.
I mean, you've seen all the memes. You get it.
All right. Well, that's it. So, bye.
Goodbye.